Hey guys, well today thought we'd do something fun. Now, if you caught yesterday's video and stayed all the way to the end, you know that I'm going to do something involving blueberries. But I didn't tell you anything more than that. That's because really, even though this has a blueberry dump cake as a recipe, it's kind of a cobbler. So I think I'm going to name it Blueberry Dump Cake Cobbler, or Cobbler Dump Cake. Because really, it's a layer of what appears to be a wonderful blueberry filling with a cake-like topping, but you can make cobblers like that, or crisps more than anything, because you got crisps and then you got cobblers. So it's kind of everything. But anyhow, it looks like it's going to be wonderful, no matter what you call it. And I am excited to make this because, as most things, I've never made it before. So that being said, if you're new, welcome to the channel. If you are returning or one of our new subscribers, welcome back and thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comments always welcome. I respond to every single one of them. All I ask is you be kind. Think before you type. I will give you all your measurements in tablespoons, teaspoons, cups, along with grams and milliliters. That way, no matter where you're at, who you are, you can play along. Right? Because that's important. If you're growing a neighborhood and trying to do an extended family, so to speak, that's important. Yeah, so is liking, and by the way, and subscribing and hitting the notification bell, comments, all that. Puts us out in the algorithm. Keeps our channel growing. I was really hoping to hit 5,000 by the end of the year. You guys can help me with that by sharing. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Yeah, that way we'll continue to grow in the algorithm. But anyhow, why don't we hop on down here to the counter where we can get started on this, what's going to be an incredibly easy, fun, anybody can make dessert, really. We're talking a couple steps. But anyhow, let's head on down here to the counter and see what kind of trouble we can't get into. Hold on for me just 1 second. All right, we're down here at the counter. Now, this is how easy this is going to be. It's literally going to be, we're going to make some blueberry filling in a pot that's 3 times bigger than it needs to be, oddly enough. I don't own a 4-quart or 6-quart pot. If you have a good sized saucepan or a small stock pot, either one will work. But we're going to make our own blueberry filling, and then we're going to sprinkle a box cake mix on the top, just the the actual box cake mix, followed by some butter. That's it. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to get started on our filling, our blueberry filling. But first I want to go ahead and we're going to turn our oven on, and we're just going to turn it on 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius. So we got that going. In our pot, we are going to add 6 cups, 2 pounds, 408 grams, or 908 grams worth of blueberries. And these are frozen blueberries, right? And they actually, in the recipe, recommended using frozen. You can use fresh, obviously, but if you use frozen, you get more consistent sweetness. Much like when you buy frozen pizzas or anything else, you get a better consistency of product when it comes to flavor, like when you're making pies and stuff, although nothing beats fresh if you can find it. If you are using fresh, you may have to adjust your sugar a little bit to get the desired sweetness. But anyhow, 6 cups, 908 grams. Right there. To that, I am going to add a half a cup, 100 grams of plain old white granulated sugar. And then we are going to add 18 grams, 2 tablespoons. Yeah, 2 tablespoons of 18 grams of cornstarch. And throw that in there. Cornstarch is such a sticky critter. It really, the least bit of humidity, and you've got cornstarch all, sticking to everything. But see, yeah, and that's just because it's not humid, but there's a little moisture in the air today. But it's not hot, and that's all I care about. So we get that out, and then the last ingredient we need to add to this at the moment is 2 tablespoons, 30 milliliters of lemon juice. Now it can be fresh squeezed lemon juice, it can be bottled lemon juice, whatever lemon juice you have available. And then we are going to start stirring this up, and we're gonna make it, cook it stovetop it on a medium heat, medium to low heat. We don't want to burn it until it starts to bubble and thicken. You'll see that the blueberries will start to release their juices, and you'll get a really good, filling to go with these blueberries. So when I come back, we will take a look at the filling and move on to the next steps. Alright, so we got our stovetop off, and if you want to double check to make sure you're thick enough, or you thickened it all, even though if I did my job right, you just saw what it looks like thickened. But you can also take the back of your spatula, run your finger down it like that, and see how it doesn't like move. That tells me that we're thick. Oh, and that tells me that it tastes amazing. So next thing we're going to do is I've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and it's our homemade vanilla from 2 years ago. Is when we actually put it in the jars. We just started using it like here the last couple of weeks. But we're going to go ahead and put that in there too. And that's 2 teaspoons, 8 grams of vanilla. And then once we get that stirred in, I have got a 9 by 13 or 23 by 33 centimeter pie dish right here. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to put our blueberries in the bottom of this. Alright, we got that in there now. I don't think I mentioned, but while that was cooking up, before I had to commit to stirring it, which you don't stir it all the time, it's not consistent, you just want every once in a while, I went ahead and I took my 9 by 13 and I used about a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I just absolutely buttered the living tar out of this pan, and then I had it sitting in the fridge until we were ready to pull it out here. So, which wasn't long, but long enough. Yeah, that way the butter didn't melt, kind of gave it a fighting chance against this hot blueberry filling. So, now we got that in there. We will set that off to the side. And we are going to open our cake mix. Now, the original recipe called for yellow cake mix. And we've done yellow cake mix, and I thought, why don't we try something different? So I have a vanilla cake mix, which if I did this right, it should come out like a white cake mix, only with the vanilla flavor. I thought that would go really well with these blueberries. So what we'll do is we're just going to take this and hopefully sprinkle it on top just fine. Okay, so we got our cake batter mix on there. And like I said, I mean, you could use almost anything. Whatever you think sounds good with blueberries. Even chocolate, funfetti, whatever it takes, really. Or vanilla, white, yellow, whichever. So now I took 3/4 of a cup, 171 grams, a stick and a half of unsalted butter, and I cut it into about 1/8 strips, right? So that way, I mean, some may be a little bigger, a little smaller, depending on where they were in the food chain. I didn't exactly measure them, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them on top of this cake mix. We're not mixing anything together, though, so keep that in mind. So the cake mix I just put on top, and we're leaving it sit there. Now I'm going to take these pads of butter and I'm going to set them on here and get them as evenly across here as possible. All right, so we have our pads of butter sitting on top of our cake mix. So now we are going to put this in the oven, center rack, 350 degrees, 180 degrees Celsius, which I'm pretty sure I reminded all of us to start our oven right when we started bubbling the filling. And we are going to bake this for 35 to 40 minutes. We are looking for golden brown top. The butter should be melted, the top should be golden brown, and you should see the blueberry filling bubbling on the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 35 minutes. I'll start checking it at 30, and when I come back, we'll take a look at it and try some. All right, I'll see you here in a second. All right, so got her out of the oven, bubbling, nice and golden brown. I actually let her sit here for 10 minutes just so it didn't melt our faces off, and that is still really warm. I don't recommend not using something to grab things with at your house, but yeah, that's up to you. So anyhow, all we got left to do, because we want to serve this warm, is the idea behind it. So if, like, say you made it, we're making it today for tomorrow, we would go ahead, let it cool down to room temperature, refrigerate it, and then the next morning throw it, or whenever you're getting ready to serve it, throw it back in the oven for 10-15 minutes. Let it get warmed up again. I would recommend putting foil over it though, just so you don't burn the top. But that's why I said, I mean, if you look at it, it looks almost like a, like a cobbler versus a dump cake, so to speak. And we're not cutting it. We're not, none of that shenanigans. We're just gonna dive right in here with the spoon and pull some out. But I'm here to tell you, that looks just yum. Let me get that blueberry off the top. Blueberries are like one of my favorite all-time, gotta have it forever type dishes. Anything involving blueberry, hands down. That looks wonderful, and the kitchen smells amazing. I mean, don't be fooled. It definitely passes the looks good, smells good portion of the program. So now that we're 2/3 of the way there, the last third we got to do is just try it, and I'm sure it's going to be good. I know my mouth is watering right now. I feel almost kind of special, but wow. Oh my God. I should say gosh, but wow. So this is amazing. I don't know what it would taste like with the yellow cake mix, but I know that vanilla cake mix, just that combination of the vanilla with the blueberries is just off the hook, and it's not horribly sweet. I was worried about how that crust would turn out being cake mix, and it's perfect. It's not very cakey for being cake mix. I like it. It's not flaky. It's not thick. It's not dense. It's almost like a cobbler should be. For those of you that know about cobblers, you have like two different kinds of cobbler. You have one that's got like a cake layer on top, a true cake layer on top, and you have the other ones that's just got like the dollops of almost what looks like old school biscuits, or dumplings. That's like a cross between the two, and that is phenomenal. You guys have got to give this a try, hands down. That is one of the best things I've had in a long time. I mean, really, and we've had some pretty good things going on here, but this was easy, it was simple, it was quick, and it is well worth it times 10 to do that. I gotta take another bite. Give this a try. Let me know if you do. Or if you make something similar, because I can see that going well with blackberry, raspberry, even a cherry filling, just about any fruit flavor. That would be amazing with. It's so easy to do. But let me know down in the comments if you give this a try, or if you have something similar that you do at your house. That would be so awesome to hear. But this will not steer you wrong, I promise. Holy camole, this is good. Now, next week, I don't know yet. I don't know. I know we got a lot going on over the next couple weeks. Well, not a lot, but we got things going on. My grandson, Anthony, his birthday is this Saturday, or Sunday. His party is at any rate. And we're about to have a big to-do for turning two. Oh, that's horrible, I don't remember. But it's gonna be a great party. And then the weekend after, we're going ghost hunting down in Southern Ohio. It's gonna be awesome. And camping. We haven't been camping in years. Long story, but it's been a minute. Not a bad story, just a long story. But all the same, we will be doing something next week. Dinner, dessert, who knows? Who knows? We never know what we're gonna get into, right? But until next week, I love you. I love you very much. Mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them and love them very much. They may need to hear it, especially nowadays. And either way, it's gonna make them smile, make them feel good. It's gonna make you smile and feel good to tell them, guaranteed. And if you make them some of this cobbler blueberry dump cake cobbler, I guarantee they're gonna grin ear to ear. Probably ask you for a cup of milk, a cup of coffee, hours of conversation. And there's enough there. You can bring the neighbors over. I guarantee they'll come right over with this. Maybe the guy walking down the street get some to the mailman to eat on his way down the street. Either way, but till next week, I love you, and I will see you then. All right, see you later. Bye bye.